This video is about the life of Hasidic Jewish people in Brooklyn, New York. Please remember, a government and its people are two different things. This is a video about the Jewish religion, not the politics that are prominent right now. I always strive to give a completely unbiased and raw look into what life is like for communities around the world. It is then up to you to form your own opinion. Let's get on with the video. Underground tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know much about that.
It's an easy question.
This is like some secret Soviet
Headquarters of the CIA. They thought it was anti-Semitism. Once all the fighting stops, we have to be ready for those deeper discussions. I wasn't going to bring it up, but now you're asking.
I don't.
Oh.
They're Orthodox Jewish.
So I don't know if it was exactly tunnels. That was right at the synagogue that we were.
Oh, just the one?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
The only real question is, what's going to happen when there's complete peace? This was the height of technology in the 1970s.
Nobody wants evil.
Exactly.
Everyone's fighting.
But here we go.
Okay.
It's all part of the mystery. You ready to go in?
I'm ready.
Okay. Once you go in, there's no going back.
Hasidic Jews in Brooklyn are part of a devout, ultra-Orthodox Jewish community known for its strong adherence to traditional Jewish law, customs, and attire. They follow the teachings of various Hasidic dynasties, each led by a rabbi who provides spiritual guidance. The community maintains a distinct way of life which I really wanted to explore, so let's delve deeper and find out more about this community. We've arrived. They said the subway is bad. Don't know. I didn't have any bad experiences. Rabbi Yoni.
How are you?
Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good. We are in downtown Brooklyn with Rabbi Yoni. How are you doing today, Rabbi Yoni?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Thank you so much for reaching out.
No, thank you for having me. This is pretty cool. So I feel like I've been transported into another world, but we're still in New York.
You're in the heart of Hasidic Brooklyn right now in Crown Heights, Kingston and Eastern Parkway. Usually when people think Hasidic Brooklyn, they think closed off and insular and isolated. That is the exact opposite here in Crown Heights. This Hasidic community is open and welcoming, and you're going to really feel that. So let's go take a look.
Let's go. Me personally don't know much about the Jewish community, and I'm sure some of you watching this video don't know much. It's more about the people. It's not about politics. It's not about necessarily, obviously it's about religion, but it's really about learning about the people.
And sort of realizing, although we look so different on the outside, what is it really that connects us on the inside that's all the same?
Yeah.
We are going inside, I think by all accounts, the most famous synagogue in the world.
Wow. No way.
And fascinating history, how it all began. We're going to go behind the closed doors of a Hasidic synagogue. From this synagogue, over 4,000 other synagogues and Jewish centers were started around the world in every corner of the globe, including many of the places that you traveled.
Nice.
I'm not sure about Afghanistan, but...
Just off the bat,
Yeah.
First thing when I'm looking at you guys is the way you're dressed, your hats, the long beards, the beads. So could you tell me a little bit more about what these are?
Yes, these are called tzitzis. And when a boy turns 3 years old, he starts wearing them. And it's based on a verse in the Bible that says, if you wear a four-cornered garment, each one of these corners is supposed to have these tassels. And if you look close enough, I'll show you when we go to this scribe, each corner has 8 strings and 5 knots, which 8 plus 5 is 13. 5 is 613.
That's a lot of maths.
The amount of commandments that we have as Jewish people.
How many commandments?
613.
Do you remember them?
Luckily, they're written down.
Okay.
We don't even look at them as commandments. The Hebrew word mitzvah actually means connection. So God came down to Mount Sinai and he revealed his innermost self, his innermost essence. And he says, please join me. And this is what I really like and what I want you to join me in.
Okay.
So it's ways of connecting to God. So in no relationship should there be commandments, right? I don't come home and command my wife to make dinner, right? So God doesn't command us either. So
Awesome.
Mitzvah means connection.
And the long beard, any reason for that?
Yes, it says in the Bible that a man should not cut the 5 corners of his face. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5.
What about if you're like me? This is all I can grow.
Okay.
It's okay for non-Jewish to go inside?
Oh yeah,
Oh, sweet.
I do it every day. Now this is not typical that you could just walk into any Hasidic community in the world and go right inside their synagogue. This is unique here in Crown Heights, that you're able just to stroll right in and take a look.
Even
Take a
if
look.
I was on my own?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It looks like someone's like a really grand house. It looks really beautiful.
Yes, well, this wasn't always a synagogue. So this was actually owned by a Jewish doctor, and the house became available for sale. And they said, let's buy it. It's perfect location. Nice. Brooklyn, especially in the 1940s, you had a baseball team playing here called the Brooklyn Dodgers. And you could hear their home runs from Empire Boulevard. So this was a very affluent, happening Jewish community.
What's the population?
They
roughly?
estimate like 15 to 20,000 Hasidic
Just in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's the largest in the world outside of Israel.
Oh, no, there's over like 200 Hasidic groups in Brooklyn, and each one's named after where they came from. You ready to go in?
I'm ready.
Okay. Once you go in, there's no going back.
Okay.
I know you've been to some crazy places.
I know.
But here we go.
Okay.
770 Eastern
So
Parkway.
we're going into another world.
The world headquarters of Chabad, Lubavitch. Just in this little room, this little hallway, you can't even begin to imagine what occurred here. Every recent mayor of New York City, Giuliani, Dinkins, Koch, they would stand right here, and you'd get a blessing, you'd get $1, because the Rebbe said when two people meet, it should benefit a third. So it'd give you $1 to give to charity. Sort of like what we're doing now. When two people meet, when we're meeting, it's going to benefit a third because you're videoing it and you're showing.
Hopefully more than a third.
Oh yeah. We're getting special access here, Harry.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. This is like some secret Soviet.
Headquarters of the CIA, or Chabad in action.
I am so confused.
Well, this was the height of technology in the 1970s. If you look here, this is what a picture of the Rebbe leading a Farbrengen, a gathering, where he taught his followers downstairs in the main synagogue, which we'll see next. Actually, if you want to come to this side, you can see a big picture of it right here. This is what it looked like in the 1980s. But in the 1970s, a group of young yeshiva students from Israel said, hey, people around the world want to hear the Rebbe's message, this idea of the goal is not to get to heaven, but to bring heaven down to earth. So they created this masterful system through telephones because they didn't have WhatsApp back then, but they had these. And they created this whole hookup system, went to hundreds of locations around the world that people would gather and listen live to the Rebbe's talks.
Wow.
And look at this, all created on the fly.
No
by
way.
young yeshiva students. So you see, he went to Rio in Brazil and Alaska. When these things were lit up,
Wow.
that shows people were listening live.
Can I send my parents a message in London?
I mean, it could work probably, but it's not in working order.
Remind me again. So they sent 4,000
4,000.
rabbi around everywhere in the world to teach.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's say you're a rabbi and you want your community to find you. How do you do that? You can't just say, I'm the one with the black hat and the beard, right? So look, you wear a pink tie.
Oh,
You stand there like a sore thumb.
Do they have to wear the black suit though?
No, there's no have to. People wear it's interesting. Like the black suit is just more formal dress to remind yourself of this amazing mission that we have. Just like a policeman wakes up in the morning, he puts on his uniform, it reminds him, and people know who he is. They can recognize, oh, that's a policeman. So we dress this way. When someone sees us, oh, that's a rabbi or that's a Hasidic Jew. So you know what the red phone goes to?
Where?
God.
How do I find a beautiful wife? This is underground?
This is, yeah. I mean, in a certain sense, it's like,
The basement.
yeah, basement.
Oh.
Ready for this?
Wow.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
The most famous synagogue in the world.
I cannot believe this is in downtown Brooklyn.
Shiva students studying
They're studying.
the Talmud, Jewish law.
There's not just young guys here, there's older guys, there's young boys here.
And people still praying. That's a GoPro.
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was a camera when they first had it.
No, those are called tefillin, black boxes.
What's it for?
When a boy turns 13, he has a bar mitzvah, so he starts praying with those two black boxes. Now look, he's going to bind it to his arm. So there's little parchments in there, which has portions from the Torah written on them. Heart, that's why it's on the bicep by your heart, which represents your emotions, and one that goes on the head, that your thoughts and your emotions should be in sync with God.
I know you don't call them rules, but some of the, like to do with kosher, and also like, do you drink alcohol?
Parts of different ceremonies in Jewish law that you have to drink wine. We're able to drink alcohol.
Yeah,
does that
for
work?
sure.
There
Yeah.
we go.
So what does this mean?
So that's called the yarmulke. It literally means fear of God. So we wear yarmulkes.
Oh, you had it on.
Yeah, I had it
okay.
on the whole time.
Is this to be respectful in the synagogue?
Right, and it reminds us that we're always on an important mission. This place is empty now, believe it or not.
Oh, this is quiet.
Yeah, if you come back at 3:15, and maybe we'll do that.
How many hours are these guys in here for a day?
Oh, they're here from 7:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night.
Oh my
No big
God,
deal.
that's dedication. I can't concentrate on one thing for more than like 2 hours. I think so. That's a dedication. How will they earn money when they're older? From the community?
Yeah, I mean, there's different styles. Some people, could be chaplains. Some people could lead congregations. Some people could be teachers. So there's all different forms.
You said that, is it Rebbe?
Rebbe.
That's the top.
Right. That's like the grand spiritual leader.
Like the version of the Pope. At this point, I was shocked I was able to get this much access to the community, but I wondered what life was like for the more regular citizens of Brooklyn Heights, so we headed out onto the streets to find out.
This is the community.
Oh, wow.
See, it says Crown Heights Shmira Patrol. Shmira is the Hebrew word for guarding.
Shmira cop car. That's a nice cop car.
Yeah, isn't it nice? Like, during COVID, crime did go up here a little bit. Things got so dangerous, they started putting locks on bagels. Get it? Locks on bagels?
I don't get it.
It locks. In Jewish communities, we eat like locks and cream cheese. No, that's called a dad joke.
That's a Jewish dad joke.
Yeah, because...
So it's even hard for me. I have one dying question.
Yeah, sure.
It's something that you obviously know about. The one thing that you guys, or the Jewish community, is in the news, especially in New York, is about the underground tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know much about that.
That's an easy question. Well, here in Crown Heights, we like to dig deeper. No, I'll show you what that's about a little bit in the synagogue. And you know, being such a packed place, the synagogue, as you saw, you know, you want a little more room. So a couple of the yeshiva students like expanded a little part of it, you know, by themselves. I don't know if it was exactly tunnels, you know, things.
Was that in Brooklyn?
That was right at the synagogue that we were.
Oh, just the one?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but now you're asking. I'll tell you all about that. And they filled up the tunnels or whatever, if you want to call it that, with cement.
Okay.
And some of the students were very upset. They thought it was anti-Semitism.
Right.
So after Hasidic girls get married, the morning after, they cover their hair with wigs.
Okay.
So you can actually see your own scalp through?
Well, that's a great question. We actually have a little bit of a lining inside that covers your scalp.
Oh.
But it looks very scalp-like.
Yeah.
There's all different shades for all different color scalps, like China, Mongolia, India. And you can buy hair in different countries like Europe, Ukraine, Brazil. And we prefer that hair because it's a little bit finer. So right now a lot of the hair is coming from Brazil, touched in the factory before it came here. Someone grew out their hair and it went right into the wig. So
what is the reason for covering hair and starting after the wedding? It's an increase in modesty. It's not really about other people seeing you. It's between God and it's between you and yourself.
So they have their whole own emergency services, funded by themselves, I presume, the Hatzalah. And you said they're faster than the...
Oh, yeah.
They're faster than the actual...
Yeah, I mean, they know the
government.
community, they know the streets. Hatzalah literally means to save. So it's an amazing organization, not only here in the New York or tri-state area, it's imagined around the globe.
This is like a Jewish area, but there's not just Jewish people living here. There's other people...
Right, it's predominantly Hasidic, especially these few blocks. The more outskirts it starts, you know, being a little more diverse. But primarily here, say 90% of these houses are all Jewish.
But if like a non-Jew was to move in next door, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Speech that my wife gave.
It's good.
Should I do the
Donuts are kosher? Yes,
donuts
please.
are kosher? Getting ready for the Shabbos already. This is...
What is it?
This is called babka. It's a very typical Hasidic cake that you eat on the Shabbos.
How are you? Good?
Yeah.
Could I get a iced coffee? Would you like something?
Sure, I'll drink with a nice coffee.
What is your favorite thing about this Jewish community, and what is your least favorite thing about this Jewish community?
The people and the people.
What's your dream in life?
Make other people happy.
I was born and raised in Israel, so I speak Hebrew also.
If a non-Jew, if I hypothetically wanted to marry your daughter, or just, you know, any situation, is that allowed? Would you allow that, or would I? Yeah, what's the process?
It is not allowed.
Okay.
Jewish people are only supposed to marry Jewish people. The only way it would be allowed is if somebody converted, then they're able to marry into the Jewish faith.
How's life here?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite thing about living here?
My friends.
Oh.
I don't.
They don't.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
They're Orthodox Jewish.
Oh,
They
wow.
adhere to the laws of
No,
honesty.
it's all good. I'm learning.
This felt kind of has like a warm look, so lighter colors.
That's so cool. Okay, so I was just telling Yassi how much I like the Peaky Blinders hat, and he's just gifted me this. This isn't necessarily just like a Jewish thing, it's just like style, and yeah, so it's absolutely incredible hats. And now I'm looking like a Peaky Blinder, so I'll take that. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, brother. I had already learnt more in one day about this religion than I previously had learnt in a lifetime, but the final piece of the jigsaw was to meet Rabbi Yoni's full family and see what personal and family life is like for the Hasidic Jewish people in New York. Okay, so this is a typical Brooklyn house.
Yes.
Yeah?
This is actually the house that my wife grew up in.
How you doing, guys? You good?
Oh, hey guys. You like the tour so much.
This is a Jewish kitchen.
This is Jewish Kitchen, and I want to introduce you to my daughter. She's Leah.
Hello.
She's the baby.
How do I say how are you in Hebrew?
You could say shalom,
Shalom.
or in Yiddish it's was machst du.
Was machst du?
There you go.
You've been to a kosher kitchen before?
No, this is my first time.
Okay, so please look around and tell me if you observe any differences that might make this kitchen specifically kosher other than just being a nice big kitchen.
The one thing is the 2 ovens. There's 2, but is there 2 of everything? Oh yeah, there's 2 microwaves, 2 washing machine, dishwasher. Do you have 2 fridges as well?
It's one fridge.
1 fridge.
I may have a second fridge because we have a large family and need to supply.
So why do you have 2 of everything?
Okay, because I keep kosher. The Bible is a verse, Lo sebashel gedi b'chalevi mo. Do not cook the kid goat in its mother's milk. We do not cook meat and milk together, and we do not eat meat and milk together. Separate appliances for the cooking.
That is inconvenient, but it...
But this is the way God asks us, so we're
Right.
asking him, hey, why do we have to do it? He asks us that we're happy to do it.
Okay,
With
yeah.
the reason, whether we understand the reason or not.
What's some typical foods that you would cook for a special occasion?
Okay, so our special occasions are generally the Shabbat or the Jewish holidays.
In the house, is it typical to have multiple generations? So you have your parents and the
So it's
grandchildren?
not necessarily very typical, but when that happens, it's just a plus.
Got you. Yeah, it's a great thing.
Some communities, some countries, they're very intergenerational living. In America, not so much.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
And when Mashiach, the Messiah, comes, he's going to teach this, because soon enough we're going to have AI. A lot of what we're doing now, even editing videos and working in machines, it's all going to be computerized, and robots are going to be doing. So what's everyone going to do? Everyone's going to be fully available to go deeper and get to know God and get to know purpose and get to know each other in the sense of what's this all about. So it's exciting times.
What's the main reason behind having a large family?
Well, it's the first first commandment in the Bible: be fruitful and multiply.
So how many children you got? 9 children.
9 children, but some of them.
Hello.
I told him this is like a Mr. Beast video. If he holds on to my neck for 10 seconds, he gets a brand new Lamborghini. 3, 2, 1, we got a winner!
Yay.
A brand new Lamborghini, but my YouTube channel is going to be called Rabbi Beast. But let me get you. If you would have come a few days ago, he would have had long hair, because we don't cut their hair for the first 3 years for boys. Because then we get to leave like the payas, the corners.
Oh yeah.
Because you're supposed to have the. And so we just gave him his haircut, and his hair's still starting
How does
to
he
grow
like
back.
it? How was school?
Yeah, how was school? Seriously.
Oh no. What's one or some of the misconceptions that people have about Hasidic Jews, if there is any?
And probably the fact that maybe that you have to have a large family, or you have to take this path, and it's sort of imposed on you. But it's not that way.
I was born and raised in Israel, and it's unfortunate the amount of death, and the only real question is what's going to happen when there's complete peace in the world, because that's what we're trying to get to. Like when the acts of aggression and terrorism are over, when people are actually listening and respecting each other, what are we going to talk about that? And I think, at least it says in Maimonides, that eventually and ultimately everyone in the world is just going to want to get to know God and purpose, because at our core, like we were talking about before, there's not one human being that lives their life and at some point they ask themselves, why am I here? Just to eat, drink, and be merry for 80, 90 years and then die? There's got to be something more out there. So we have to be prepared for that. Once all the terrorism and all the fighting stops, we have to be ready for those deeper discussions. And who are people going to turn to? I imagine to the chosen people who are supposed to be a light unto the nations.
And God wants peace, and God wants kindness. We need to be responsible and protect, but that doesn't make you more important than somebody else. Everyone's important, and every country is responsible to protect its people. And what we look forward to is world peace. All need to live the way God wants us to live. And what he wants is us to live in peace. You've traveled the world. So what have you found out about the world?
I was just saying, like I've been to a lot of like dangerous countries, or countries that most people think are dangerous, and I've realized that 99.9% of people are kind in the world, and there is good and bad people everywhere, but I really try and promote people to travel, because you learn that people, even doesn't matter what religion, where you're from, people are willing to help. And so, if you ask directions, you ask for water, anything, there's so everyone around the world is so helpful. So that's something that I've learned.
So you're saying it's 99.9%. So nobody wants evil.
Exactly.
Nobody wants fighting. Let's just be the best people that we are.
Yeah.
And how quickly the world can become a perfect world.
I feel like I'm back at school again. Like this reminds me, we're waiting for some of his sons to come back from school. Jewish school, or there was non-Jews here?
No, this is all Jewish, all Hasidic, all boys, and you can see the sign there that says Lubavitch.
Yeah. Here he is. Shalom.
Oh, shalom, say shalom. This is Harry.
How you doing?
Harry!
This is a truly unique experience. Oh! You look like mafia. He looks like scary. If you guys want to book a tour, then I'll leave a link in the description.
Very simple. We're creating a global community. We have classes for Jewish people, not Jewish people, everybody. Book a tour on Airbnb, Hasidic Brooklyn. God bless you and God bless the United States of
America. Yeah, guys, just want to say again, thank you so much to Rabbi Yoni and his family for opening their doors without taking any payment. So if you want to check out their Airbnb tour, in the link in the description below, they are some of the nicest people I met in New York, and I really now have a full experience of New York, seeing so many different communities, and we've got a few more to come in the next few videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.